If you're in pain right now and you don't know what to do with it, this video is for you. So there are 4 things that help people when awakening gets painful. Let me show you. Okay, first of all, there's the first S, which is stabilization. So stabilization is knowing that you are safe. And that's not a mental knowing, but that's a sort of feeling in the body. So the nervous system needs to know it's safe. And in order for the nervous system to know it's safe, we can do several grounding practices. So stabilization works with grounding. And I have a whole list of grounding practices in my stabilization guide, which is free to download in the link below. But I'll give you a list here. I'd like to stand barefoot in grass, but you can do it on any earth. So you want to be directly on the earth and connect with that physically with bare feet. And for example, I stand there 10 minutes. That's usually a good time. 15 or 20 minutes if you're on ground. You can lay down in the grass like this for a lot of bonus points if you're really overwhelmed. Another one is showers, or I have a specific meditation for grounding that's also in the free guide. Okay, the second one I would like to introduce is relaxation. So when we're really suffering, we don't want to force ourselves. Forget about your to-do list for a second. Forget about what you should do, what you must do, things like that. Maybe only do the things that are really urgent to you or really essential right now. Forget your ambitions, relax here a bit. So it's important to bring in a level of ease, and we can do that by, for example, eating intuitively, by going with the flow, right? Surrendering, letting the body move where it wants to move, and trusting divine timing a bit. But also, maybe this is the time to, just chill and give the body some relaxed movement. So instead of your usual workout, you could go for a stroll in the neighborhood, or you could go to the park. Okay, so the third one is meditation. Meditation is, let's say you're suffering is, and I'm assuming your suffering is either energetic, emotional, or some sort of thoughts that keep repeating, or it could be a sort of general ground tone of, sort of a down or a depression based on awakening. Reminder, if this is a long phase, or if this is something that continues, definitely go seek help from like a doctor or a psychologist or a psychiatrist. But let's assume it's from awakening and you're going through either a short phase, which is less than a week, or a longer phase, which is maybe 3, 4, 5 weeks. But be careful with yourself and ask help when necessary. But meditation is usually the thing that will get you through this. So how do we want to meditate when we're really suffering, right? And this is suffering in an awakening phase, so it's something that's coming and going. It's something that has come up for you, right? So the meditation should be with ease. There are quite some techniques with meditation that are forceful, or shadow work that's forceful. We don't want to do this right now. We want something that's easy. What's easy meditation? I'm talking about sitting, right, with your eyes closed. And we want to, which is really important, we want to relax our attention. Relax attention. So we don't want to force certain shifts or certain outcomes. We want to be with something. So the important thing is here, when we investigate symptoms like the thoughts or the feelings or the energies in the body, we want to relax our attention. We want to make sure the body is relaxed. We want to make sure we breathe. And we bring the relaxation to this tension, because this suffering we're experiencing is a sort of tension. And we want to release that tension. And we do that by not bringing more tension, right? Like with heavy techniques, but we want to bring ease to it by just sitting, relaxing our attention, just being. When it's energetics in the body, like for example, Kundalini, we don't want to tense our body when we're feeling this. We want to relax our body, make sure we keep ourselves relaxed, grounded. We can also focus on our feet if we feel that we're getting a little bit ungrounded in this meditation. And then number 4 is support. When we're going through suffering, we need support. And what does that support look like? It could be conversations, mostly, right? Sometimes it's maybe somebody bringing food or something like that, but often it's just conversations. That could be with friends and family, but it could also be asking support from a teacher, for example, spiritual teacher, a coach, or maybe a therapist. This is usually something different. A teacher tends to tell you about theoretics, tell you about theoretically what you should do. A coach is somebody that looks at your situation, really tries to make a custom plan with you, and really tries to not only give you advice, but also try to match that advice with current phase you're going through. It's somebody that helps you through something. Therapist does the same thing, but a therapist can be less proactive. Usually therapy takes a lot longer because it comes from you. The therapist usually asks questions, and like with a coach, they don't really give so much feedback. That depends on the therapist and on the therapy, of course. The problem usually is if you're going to a Kundalini or awakening process, that the teacher is teaching, so it's very hard to make a sort of custom fit for you. And the therapist, what I notice a lot of the time, is not really equipped with awakening and spirituality and Kundalini. He doesn't really understand that. Usually, some therapists do, but if you're going through a process like this, it's important to have somebody that understands you. What I do, I make a custom plan for you and really fit what I'm teaching towards you and what fits your situation, what would help you most. Because I see people on the awakening path have different blueprints and different techniques and ways of working that work with them. Another one I would like to add here is a conversation with God, with Source, or maybe some sort of master that's no longer there. That could be Jesus or somebody else. There are lots of teachers out there or masters out there. That's something that if you feel called to do that, I would do that. If it's something that doesn't really resonate with you, just leave it out. So this whole list is something that you do when it comes to suffering. If you're suffering right now and you see this list and you're wondering, okay, how do I implement this? How would I work with this? Because I would look at your suffering and try to score yourself on how much am I relaxing while I'm suffering? How much conversations and support am I getting? How much am I doing easy meditation, right? Where I let the pattern dissolve itself. It releases itself instead of you trying to release it by you holding space. And how much do I feel stable or grounded? So I would score yourself in these. And then if you're looking for specific questions on how do I implement this or how do I work with this, then feel free to schedule a free conversation, and you can find the link in the description with me, and we'll make a custom plan for you on how you can deal with the suffering that you're currently going through. Okay, much love to you, and thank you so much for watching this. Bye-bye.